Talk with Deezy podcast, where we focus on building, connecting, and networking. Today I got a special guest in the building, Lovely the Realtor.
What's up? What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good actually. How did the name come about?
So back in, what was it, MySpace days? That was my
MySpace. Great day.
Yeah, that was my
Okay.
MySpace name. It's Simply Lovely. And then dropped the Simply and just left it as Lovely. So yeah,
Okay.
it's been a thing for years now.
Okay, so I know you don't made your stamp in Richmond, but where exactly are you from?
I'm from Charlottesville.
Charlottesville. Okay. How was it growing up there?
Boring.
Really?
Very boring.
Why so?
It was not much to do. I actually lived in the country. I lived closer to the Waynesboro area. So it was literally nothing out there.
Okay. They said that's over the mountains, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what areas do you mainly serve now?
So I can go all the way as close to Woodbridge, close to DC area, and all the way down to close to Norfolk.
Okay, cool. How long you been into the real estate game?
About 2 years now.
2 years. And you went to VCU. Did you go to school for that, or is that
So I went to VCU, yes. That's how I ended up in Richmond.
Richmond?
But as far as real estate, I didn't do that at VCU. I was actually an English major at VCU.
Okay.
I initially wanted to be a teacher, but that's another story for another day.
I got you. Okay.
But to become a realtor, I took a class through Mosley Real Estate, and then
Okay. So how did you decide to jump into real estate?
I was actually in property management for about 3 years, and then I decided, I want something bigger and better than this because I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed helping people, but I just wanted something better and a little bit more money.
For sure. Now, what are some questions that an owner should ask? Well, not an owner, but a buyer should ask when buying a home?
Ask me?
Yeah. If they're just coming to you, if it's something that you posted or something that your organization has posted, to sell, what are some things that I guess that you usually see asked?
Oh, okay. Certain things most people be like, I'm trying to buy a house. What do I need to do? First thing when you're trying to buy a house is to see how much you get pre-approved for, you qualify for. So you need to know your budget. You need to know what you're working with first. Then you also need to know what you need or what you're looking for, how many bedrooms and what location, if you need to stay in a certain school district, stuff like that. So, but the biggest question is just, what do I need to do to get started? And the first thing is get pre-approved.
Get pre-approved. What do you think, just from your experience, that a buyer should have in order before they start looking for a home?
Personally, I don't mind a buyer reaching out to me before they're ready. I would rather them do that, so that way I can kind of guide them to what they need to do to get a pre-approval. But first thing first is, just make sure your finances are in order. They don't have to be perfect because sometimes people think that they wouldn't qualify for a house, and they actually do.
For sure.
So make sure your debt to income ratios are as low as possible, and also, just have some money saved.
For sure. I think that's really important. And this next one is based off a post I saw you post on Instagram, and I'm going to read it. So it said, the mindset is the most important factor. In achieving your goals and dreams, work on it daily. What are some goals that you're working towards as a person?
As far as real estate or just in general?
In general, and real estate.
Okay, well, it kind of ties into each other. I'm actually working on my social media presence.
Okay.
To be honest, most people don't notice, but I'm super shy.
Okay.
I'm very, very shy, especially when it comes to the camera.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm working on that, so I'm just working on just putting my face out there more, talking in front of the camera more, just getting the information out. I have the information, I just need to record it and get it out there.
I got you. Now, good credit versus bad credit. Do you see a lot of bad credit buyers come at you, or how does that work? Do you see that a lot, or?
It kind of depends.
Yeah.
And then like I was saying before, sometimes even if you have bad credit doesn't mean that you can't buy a house.
Buy a house, yeah.
But most of the time, that's why I was saying I would prefer you to come to me first before you get pre-approved, because they might turn you down.
Damn.
You might not have the right lender in place because a really good lender is if you're not ready, they're gonna guide you and get you the steps to get ready.
For sure. Now I see that you're a boy mom. What's that like for you?
Amazing.
Yeah?
I love my baby. He is 4 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is. He's a grown man. He thinks he's 14.
Yeah, no, I get it. I have a 4-year-old too. So
Oh, okay. A boy or girl?
A boy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Big
I know how it can be.
Wild.
Is that ever a challenge in the real estate, or do you kind of make your own schedule to work around being a mom?
Yeah, I definitely make my own schedule. Sometimes it can be challenging, just having a toddler in the background when you're on the phone with a client, or days when I can't have anybody watch him, I have to take him with me.
For sure.
But for the most part, he understands and he knows what to do. Sometimes he'll go through the house and be like, look at this, look at that. And I'm like, look at you. Like, how do you know? I guess he's just watching and just being in that environment.
I'm sure. I see you're into fitness. I've been seeing you post some things in the gym. Is that like a daily routine for you?
It's a new daily routine for me.
A new daily routine, yes. Okay.
I haven't worked out in years.
Really?
Yeah. So just this last almost 2 weeks now that I'm just getting back into it. So I'm definitely making it a lifestyle now.
I got you. Well, it looks like it's paying off. So, keep doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you.
Do you have a marketing game plan?
No.
You don't?
I'm working on it, though.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
Have you taken any marketing classes, or
I haven't.
Or that you're just looking into getting better with that? Okay. I know the real estate world can be a big competition. What are some things you do to differentiate yourself from other realtors?
At this moment, honestly, nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
But that's what I know that's where my problem is, and that's why I need to get into social media more and putting my face out there and just showing my personality. Like being in real estate is just like running your own business, and when you first start, it's just like starting a business from scratch. So you literally have to build everything. You have to build your clientele. You have to build your presence. You have to build your marketing, everything. So I'm in that process. In the very beginning, I didn't really look at it that way. I just looked at it as, oh, I'm a realtor. People just gonna come to me. It don't work like that.
Okay, so that's what I always thought. So because I've never really paid attention to that real estate game. So of course you work with a team.
Yes.
Is the real estate game a team sport? Or is it just like you kind of on your own representing that brand? Like, how does that work?
So if you are an independent agent, yes, you are on your own. Everything is up to you. But me personally, the way that I learn, I need to see it and be hands-on with it and have somebody kind of teaching me and guiding me. Because after you pass your test, they kind of just let you go like, all right, go ahead and start.
Okay.
But excuse me.
You're fine. Take your time.
But that's not how it works for me. Unless you come out the gate with clients, you have to build that. And then just based off the information in the class, it really takes the experience to actually learn how to do it. Because every transaction is different. Every client is different. So you really never know what you're going to get until you just get out there and just start doing it.
For sure.
So I just needed like a little bit of guidance and stuff like that. But my team leader, she's amazing. She's been in the business for over 20 years. And she's very relatable and very just... She makes sure that I stay on my stuff, and that's what I needed. So.
For sure. Now, when you ride down the road and you see like the signs in the ground with the face on it, like how does that mark your home that you're trying to sell? Like how does that work? Because I see it a lot. I just always wondered, is it that person that's selling that home?
Oh, okay.
From the realtor standpoint.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sorry that I took that and went somewhere else with it.
You good.
So. Yes. So basically, you can be a listing agent or you can be a buyer's agent. Okay. So if you're the listing agent, that's when your face will go on that sign in front of the house. If you're the buyer's agent, you have the buyer that is bringing them to that house that person is selling.
Gotcha.
So excuse me, your face won't go in anything like that. But and the buyer's agents, most people don't know this. We don't get paid from the buyer. The buyer does not pay us. Like it's absolutely a free service.
That's crazy because I heard this through the grapevine a few times, but I was told that like the realtors get like a certain percentage.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. So the listing agent offers a certain percentage based off what they get paid, and most of the time they'll split it in half with you. Typically, most agents get 6%, and then they'll split it in half with the other agent 3%. But there's some agents that will take more and they'll only give you 2.5%. So it just depends. But yes, buyers don't pay anything to have an agent represent you. Now, some people do charge like a little fee, within the agreement, but most of the time they don't pay the realtor anything.
Okay. Now, do you offer services for people to help build their credit?
I personally do not know, but I do. Yes.
Okay. What's next for you, like in the real estate game? Like, what are you working towards for this year?
Honestly, my biggest goal right now is social media because I've gotten a lot of clients from social media, and I just want to branch off of that more and more and more because with after COVID, it just kind of made it hard to just, people don't really go out. There's not as many marketing events, not many networking events like it used to be. Yeah, it's starting to happen now, but it's like social media is the biggest thing, and that's where everybody looks. First thing, when somebody's like, oh, I need to learn how to do this, what do? You go on your phone, or you go on TikTok, you go on Instagram and search that. So I want to be that when somebody's like, I want to buy a home in Richmond, realtors in Richmond. I want them to like, oh, I'm trying to go with Octavia.
I got you. So I want to thank you for coming through, because you're my first representative from the real estate world.
Oh, well, thank you.
And clearly you're already working on your social media presence, because that's how I found you, was looking up realtors in Richmond.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, so that worked. And keep doing what you're doing, because it seems to be working. But before we go, for anyone that's looking for a real estate agent, where can they find you, like social media wise?
Okay, my Instagram is The Lovely Realtor, and then on Facebook it's just my first and last name, Octavia Nicholas. So I'm on both.
Gotcha. Now, one more thing. For the people that's looking to do what you do, they're just jumping in. You're seasoned a little bit, but for the people that's just jumping into it, what's some advice for them?
I have a lot. First, don't give up, because that test is very hard. I did not pass on my first go, but don't let that discourage you.
For sure.
And then just make sure you do your research on exactly what type of brokerage that you want to work with. Do your research to of the amount of fees that associate with real estate, because a lot of people see real estate and they just see dollar signs. And honestly, in the beginning, you dish out more money than you make. So you just have to be prepared for that. I would recommend also having another side hustle or part-time job just to fund your real estate career.
I got you. So until next time, like I said again, thank you for coming through, and I wish you the best.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.